I see Alex from Google Nest has joined in as well as a moderator. So welcome, Alex.
Hi, everyone. How's it going?
We're
Good,
doing
good.
great. Thanks for joining us, Alex.
Of course.
We're just going to get underway right now. So I'm Adam Hedden. I'm a business development manager with Equipco Ontario. And I'm going to co-host this training today with Mr. Matthew Reed. He is our technical sales specialist in Ontario as well. So we're going to run through this training from a sales perspective as well as a technical perspective. And if there's any questions throughout, just type them into the Q&A down at the bottom. Evan will be on here as well from Equipco moderating. If there's any questions that come up, if Evan could let us know, that would be great. One special announcement right when I start here. I need to share my screen.
Yeah, we're pretty excited about this announcement. So this is some pretty big news from us.
So Equipco has teamed up with Google Nest to do a Christmas smart home giveaway. So you will have the chance to win a Nest thermostat, a Nest Hello doorbell, a Nest Protect smoke and CO detector, and a Nest camera. We'll also throw in a Google Mini to be able to voice activate all this stuff as well. So how do you win? Well, we're going to go to the second page here, and this is basically what you have to do to qualify to win. So take a picture of any Google Nest product that is installed. Okay. Now you have two options. You can email it to equipcotv@equipcoltd.com, including your company name and your location, as this is a Canada-wide promotion. Or you can post it to a social media platform, being LinkedIn, Facebook, or Instagram, tagging at Equipco Ltd and hashtag Google Nest. That enters you into the draw. That's one, each picture is one ballot. So if you have 5 products installed that you take 5 separate pictures, that's 5 ballots into the draw. The winner will be picked live on Instagram Live on Wednesday, December 23rd. Now, big announcement being everyone who attends this training today automatically gets 1 ballot into the promo.
Whoa.
Mind blown, I know. So congratulations to everyone that attended today. Thank you for attending. We appreciate you taking your time out of your day. So 1 ballot for each person that is on this training into Win a Smart Home giveaway.
Yeah, this is a really, really cool promo. Like I said, we're super excited about it. Really fun products for the folks that have played with it before. You know how great and good they are. Or for someone that's looking for a first time, this is a really good gamut of products to show what these things are all about. So we're pretty stoked and excited. And as Adam said, we really want to thank you all for joining us. for joining us here. A little question before we get going from Jared. Do I get a free entry? No, absolutely not. I want to be very clear, Jared, nothing for you ever, just so that we're all clear on the same page. Okay, with that, I'm going to get rocking and rolling here. So I'm going to start us off by showing you. This is the new Google Nest thermostat. Really cool little piece here. You see the mirrored front to it. We're going to be getting into all the details. Sorry about the glare. I'm trying to minimize it as to how it all operates. But, take my protective screen off. The cool thing about it is nice little mirrored front, shows how it operates. And this at the side, you see that little gray line? That's how we operate it. So we can show, I've been practicing, so we'll see if I can do it here. So we get into our settings, our modes, our heat cool. We can turn our fan on and off, but I'm just going to play around here with just the modes. You're going to go up to heat. Is really tricky to do from behind, but I think I'm doing okay. And you just slide it up and down to change your heat. As it shows you the temperature, time to temperature, everything like that you want to see. Hopping into your settings. Come on, sugar. The what you can do is just have a look at your equipment and timing and Wi-Fi, make sure that everything's connected, check your battery life. All these things are kind of built in, and it's just slide up and down. Like I said, my hands are a little chilly, and it's just me getting used to the piece. But I'm going to refer to this probably back a couple times during the presentation as we get going on here. But I'm going to have that right beside me at any time. So if there's any questions that come up, if I can show you exactly how it's done in the demo, I will. And if not, we'll kind of take things offline when we need to and kind of go from there. So with that, we're going to share my screen. Share computer sound. Yes. The very first thing that we're going to do is we're going to watch a quick little kind of overview video, which you're going to think the world of, because I think the world of it, and Google makes fantastic videos. So we're going to watch this, and then Adam's going to take us through the sales portion of it, and then I'm going to kind of be hopping into more of the install side of that. So hang tight. Here's a video, and then we'll rock and roll.
This is Nest Thermostat from Google. It's a smart thermostat that can help you save energy, which helps you save money on your energy bill. And with all those heating and cooling savings, replacing your old thermostat is almost a no-brainer. You're probably thinking, oh wow, but how? Well, this thermostat can help you build an energy-saving schedule and then adjust automatically, so you don't waste energy when you're away. You just have to select preferences, such as what temperature you like for when you're home, or when you're asleep, or when you're gone, and then plug in your schedule. You know what else is cool? The Nest Thermostat is kind of like an energy-saving advisor. It can help you find opportunities to use less energy. Like it might send a suggestion to tweak your sleep temperature settings, so you can save while you snooze. It can also help keep tabs on your heating and cooling system and sends you helpful reminders, like when you need a filter changed. It can even alert you if something doesn't seem right and help you find a qualified pro for a system checkup or repair, so you can get things working right and go back to living life. And say you're at the park and want to come home to a perfectly cool house. You can go to the Google Home app and take care of that. You can also control the thermostat from your Nest speaker. Hey Google, raise the temperature. Maybe you're thinking, is this fancy thermostat real expensive? Well, actually, it isn't. With rebates from your utility company, you can get it for even less. Oh, and if you like to DIY around your HOME, the Nest thermostat is designed so you can install it yourself, so you don't have to hire anyone to do it for you. And if you want, you can have a pro come install it instead. And that's how you can save energy and money with Nest Thermostat from Google.
I love those Google videos. They are absolutely fantastic. Oops, make sure that I stop that and get into my next page. So there we go for that one. Adam's going to request control, and we're going to get started with the sales portion of this Nest Thermostat presentation.
Request control.
Request granted.
Thank you. If only it was that easy with my wife. Now, meet the Nest Thermostat by Google. Are we sure I have control?
We are.
There we go.
There we go.
Just a little delay. So, how did we get there? October 2011, Nest released the Nest Learning Thermostat. Now, there were a lot of hiccups to work through with the original Nest Learning Thermostat, and it kind of painted a bad picture for Nest. But since then, they have completely turned it around with some very impressive stuff. Nest in January 2014 was acquired by Google. And then in 2015, they came out with a third generation or third version of the Nest Learning Thermostat, which is still a very, very popular thermostat today. August 2017, they came out with the Nest Thermostat E, which was a more economic friendly. Matthew, are you changing slides?
Sorry, my fault. I'll stop touching things.
They came out with a more economic friendly thermostat that kind of geared towards people that wanted the smart home technology thermostat for a little cheaper price point. Then Google and Nest Home products merged together under one Google Nest brand, as you see it today. October 2020, Nest Thermostat is launched. So Brand new thermostat. It's an affordable thermostat. And it also is introducing system monitoring through a third-party app as well, which is kind of cool. And Matthew Reed will get into that a little bit further today. 2021, we just have the dotted line there because the sky is the limit. Let's go to the next slide here. I think I lost my control when you were.
Oh man, I'm just terrible.
There we go. There we go. Meet the Nest thermostat. Do less and save more. So an acronym they're using to kind of promote this and really emphasize on its features is save. So you're going to save on energy. The affordable smart thermostat helps you save throughout the day. We're going to touch on that in this presentation. Access from anywhere. So same as the other Google Nest thermostats, you can control it via the app. Now, a little bit different than using the old Google Nest app. If you could just stop changing the slides, that'd be great.
Am I doing that? There's no way.
I didn't touch the computer, so.
I'm having a rough go here, my friends. I'm sorry. This is, oh, now we've gone and done it. Okay.
So this isn't Matthew's first presentation ever. If you believe me or not, I understand.
Yeah, there you go. You're back.
Okay. There. Sorry about that. Valuable alerts and reminders, and we're going to talk about what alerts are different now that you can get. And it's a very easy install. As it said in the video, homeowners can install this if they want to, or they can use a Nest Pro contractor as well. And we'll talk about that at the end, how to become a Nest Pro contractor if you don't know already. So save on energy. It's designed to pay for itself in its energy savings. There are certain rebates depending on what region you live in Canada that also offer additional savings. So you can check with your local authorities to see if there are some programs in place in your specific region. You can schedule your heating and cooling so it only works when it needs to. Now, this is not a learning thermostat like the third generation, but the way you can set your schedule makes it very efficient. Savings Finder suggests more ways to save energy. And what that means is the Savings Finder is monitoring your schedule throughout the day. Your app is talking back and forth to your thermostat, and they kind of know when you're home, when you're not. It's going to send you updates saying, notifications. Hey, we notice you're not home. Should we lower your heating rate now while nobody's home? You can yes or no. You can change that. It'll automatically adjust a schedule that you can override at any time. The Nest thermostat turns down the heating and cooling system when there's no one home. So the home away assist function is on this one as well. Access from anywhere. See and adjust the temperature anywhere. Now take note of this, from using the Google Home app. So previously on Nest products, you used the Nest app, where now this is the first thermostat that can actually be used via the Google Home app, which you can tie many other products into as well. It'll guide you through the setting up a heating and cooling schedule if you're not sure how to do it as a homeowner. It'll control it. You can control it with your voice using a Nest display unit or speaker. And all of your data is encrypted for privacy. You can further improve your account security with a two-step verification through the app.
Highly recommend, by the way.
Very highly recommend that.
Do you mind if I jump in here just for a quick second on the Home app? So another benefit of the Google Home app and having this thermostat on the Home app is we have a new, what we call Pro Flow process on this Home app when you're setting up thermostats. So contractors no longer have to use the homeowner's phone to set up the thermostat. They can actually set up the thermostat on their own phone through the Home app, and then the homeowner will just scan the QR code on the thermostat, and all they have to do is the configuration and Wi-Fi setup piece. So it's a nice way for contractors now to not have to always be hovering over the homeowner's shoulder or using the homeowner's phone. They can actually do it on their own phone and then just have the homeowner do those final configuration details at the end.
Absolutely. Great point. Thanks, Alex. Valuable alerts and reminders. So you can monitor your heating and cooling system and alerts when something isn't right in your system, whether it be scheduled maintenance that is reminding you of, whether it be that, you know, there's something going on and you're not getting the right power to your unit, or simple things like a filter reminder. We all know, me being working for a previous contractor before my time with Equipco, a lot of calls for no heat or no cooling relate to dirty filters, you know, plugging up the system. So a little reminder on your phone every 3 months or every 6 months, depending on what you're doing based on your environment, is really a helpful thing that has been added here. Makes maintenance easier by proactively sending reminders, and it connects to a homeowner approved pro for a checkup. So as a contractor, when you install this as a pro, you put your company information in there based off your Nest Pro ID number. And when it's time for maintenance on that, spring maintenance or fall maintenance on their system, your information is right there at their fingertips to be able to reach out for repeat business for the contractor. Easy install. Okay, it's a simple install in 30 minutes or less. Easily manage settings by swiping the touch bar on the side that Matthew showed you right at the start of this presentation. White is the Pro SKU color for extended warranty. And the extended warranty is only given to Nest Pro contractors and products that are installed by a Nest Pro contractor. The unit itself is actually made from 49% recycled post-customer plastic. So it's very environmentally friendly, which is nice to see a company the size of Google taking that kind of action in today's day and age. The key differentiators. So big one is it's affordable. Okay, it's a smart option. It's energy savings, so you're going to save money on your monthly energy consumption, and the unit itself is affordable. Access it from anywhere. With Google Home app, you can control the heating and cooling from wherever you are. You can even control it from the couch when you don't want to get up and you're watching that show on Netflix. System care comes with HVAC monitoring, a free service that monitors the system for possible issues. So customers can get them fixed before they end up causing more issues in the system and cost more money ultimately in the end. And like we said before, it's an easy install in 30 minutes or less. The thermostat portfolio from Nest. So the Nest Learning Thermostat stays basically the exact same as it was previously. 6 different colors and finishes, Energy Star certified. It includes the Home Away Assist. Now, for anyone that doesn't know how the Home Away Assist works or what it is, the Home Away Assist can be turned on or off on your phone. And basically what it does is when you leave your house, the app now is no longer on the same Wi-Fi connection as your thermostat. So it says you're not home because you're not connected to the Wi-Fi. So it's going to reduce your cooling or your heating depending on the season. Now, you can set up different applications for geofencing in there as well, so that your app is always talking back and forth. So when you're within a certain range of your Wi-Fi signal or your thermostat, it's going to start back up so that it's at a comfortable temperature by the time you get to your house or cottage or wherever you have this thermostat. Now, the Nest Thermostat E, first generation, is going to the Pro channel only. So it will not be sold in retail. It will not be sold in your box stores, your Home Depots, your Lowe's, your Best Buys, that kind of thing. It will only be sold through wholesale distribution to the pros. So this kind of gives the pros an edge on that as well. Nothing has changed with it. It's the same product that you guys are used to installing already. And then the new Nest thermostat comes in 4 different colors, only one color for a Nest Pro, which we kind of talked about, the recycled white. Energy Star certified still. Found savings alerts, which is new. HVAC monitoring, which is new. Touch strip on the side rather than on the faceplate. Keeps the face nice and clean. 1-year warranty, 3-year warranty with a Nest Pro install. Do we have a question?
I don't know. I can't touch the screen, remember, because I do terrible things whenever I use my mouse.
Okay, so this is a comment actually from Lauren Reitenbach, our managing partner in Alberta. More big news from BC. Great news. I've created awareness. Oh, this is from Pierre Huno with Fortis BC with regards to the new thermostat, and they will now accept it into their rebate program. It will take some time before we see the updated list due to some technical problems on their end, but we can confidently sell this into the market while offering the deserved rebates to contractors. Fantastic. So that's from Pierre in BC. Thanks for that note, Lauren.
Yep, and just to reiterate this slide here, the Nest E going to Pro only is a big thing for us. We've gotten a lot of feedback that we don't differentiate ourselves enough in with the retail channel. So this is our move to do that. So this again is that Nest E thermostat in the middle is only available to our contractors and wholesaler partners. And just as comparison across the 3 different thermostats. So you have the Nest Learning thermostat. That one is definitely the higher end. It has greater compatibility. So the 2 on the right-hand side, the new Nest thermostat and the Nest E, compatibility wise, they're pretty similar. So that 2 heat, 1 cool, 1 heat, 2 cool, 6 terminal back plate. But you can see some key differences here in the scheduling. So there's no auto schedule on the Nest thermostat, as Adam had mentioned. A few other differences here and there, compatibility with the Nest sensor, etc., just to keep that cost lower for folks on that far right-hand side column. So I think it's $169 CAD for the new Nest thermostat there on the right.
Beautiful. Thanks, Alex.
Mm-hmm.
So again, this is kind of what the 2011 model looked like. It was a lot big and bulkier than what we have today. 2015 and 2017, we introduced the 3rd gen and the Nest E. And now today, we're really targeting this type of market. So your typical programmable thermostat in and around $200 or less. These are the systems that we're going to look at replacing with the new Nest thermostat. So, I mean, most people have seen at least one of these thermostats in their market, I would think. These are the people we're targeting with this. Affordable beauty. So the mounting plate that it comes with is actually includes 2 AAA batteries that are long life, very similar to the ones in the Nest Protect. It also runs power to power steel into your terminal as well. Comes with the built-in bubble level to keep it nice and straight so that your display isn't on an angle when you mount it. And it's got your wiring terminals right there. Now, it makes it very easy for a homeowner or anyone to install this. So this is the integrated swipe and touch on the side. So you kind of swipe to toggle through your features and then tap to press it like you would on a mouse or something like that. It's kind of a cool change to the way they did it before, where you would push in on the screen. As you can see here, adjusting the temperature on the thermostat, all you have to do is slide your finger along the side, and it will go up by 1 degree each as you go further and further to change the temperature setting. Navigating the menu options is the same way, by sliding your finger along that outside edge. So setting up your Nest thermostat. Like we said, easy to install. So it does come with a cover plate. Should you have a rectangle or a square thermostat there now that when you pull off, there's a paint line or something that you want to cover up, the cover plate is sold separately, but is available. The cover plate goes on first, then your wiring adapter, base, and then your batteries, and then away you go into pushing the unit on. Very, very simple install. For wiring, there's actually, through the app, it kind of takes you through a step-by-step process. So you select what wires are on the existing thermostat. And when you go to the next setting on your app, it shows you where each wire that was on your old thermostat goes on which terminal on the new setup. For pros and residents, it makes it easy. So like we said, a homeowner could install this, but it makes it very quick for an S-Pro who will be doing this often. Save energy and money. So we got the easy setup. Custom scheduling gives people more transparency and control of their system. It has proven energy savings. So it kind of showed this on the video a little bit, but you have a foundational schedule that helps everyone save. You can use it when people are home, when people aren't, different settings that you can customize to your household. So, you know, this would actually be really great for my house where I'm obviously working during normal daytime hours, 8 to 5. And my wife she's a nurse, so she's on shift work. So some days she's sleeping during the day. Some days she's on night shift. Some days, she's not working at all and she's home all day. So it really allows you to customize a schedule a lot more, which is really great for that type of person as well. A simpler schedule. You want to use experiences for your schedule, leave home by a certain time. And obviously we talked about the home away assist, which is a great feature for your system to know when you're home and when you're not for reduced consumption of your energy. It's going to suggest temperature adjustments as the seasons change. So obviously it's connected to Wi-Fi, so it knows your temperature outside. It knows what the temperature should be in the house to be comfortable. It's going to give you a notification on your phone suggesting this is what you should be at for what is going on outside right now. It nudges you towards more efficient set points, and it increases transparency into energy savings and adjustments. Again, if you're going to bed at say 9 o'clock at night and it starts to realize that there's no movement and things are, shutting down at 9 p.m. at night, it's going to say, do you wish to turn your temperature down or up, depending on the season, while you're sleeping, that kind of thing. What comes in the box? So you obviously have the thermostat itself, 2 AAA batteries, 2 wall screws, the welcome guide, the start card, and the warranty card. And now I am going to turn it over to Mr. Matthew Reed. Are there any questions for me before we turn it over? All right, Matthew, you're up.
All right. So we're going to be going over here now with regards to installing this Nest thermostat. Adam, thank you for going over the kind of features and benefits. Yeah, so as opposed to this being a kind of a learning thermostat, as a quote unquote, this is more of a suggesting thermostat. It does all it can to find you energy savings and temperature savings when it possibly can. Basically, you set this is the temperature I want it when I'm home. This is the temperature I want to set when I'm away. This is the temperature I want it when I'm in bed. And what it does is, kind of like you mentioned, gently nudges you in the right direction. It's like, okay, you like to sleep with the temperature at 18 degrees Celsius. Do you want to try it at 17? And maybe see if you can save a couple extra bucks or bring it down that 1 extra degree. So it's not as hard and fast as the other ones with the learning thermostat, how it's got its schedule for setting different times. This more kind of follows your schedule. It's a little more of a personal thermostat. One other point that I wanted to expand upon was the smart home monitoring. Now that's a new feature that launched with this Nest thermostat, and it is an extremely powerful addition to the Nest lineup. So let's just say you got a situation like this. Middle of winter, your thermostat's been trying to hit 21 degrees Celsius inside your house for the last hour or 2 hours, and it just can't get there. You're getting a notification that says, hey, we believe that something's up with your system. Could have been the dirty filter, it could have been the batteries. Well, it wouldn't be the batteries in the thermostat, but it would have been something going on with the system where it's not able to either heat or cool to where you want it to get to. The notification will come up. It's like there is potentially something amiss, something awry with your system. Would you like to contact tech support to get someone out and have a look at this? Yes or no? So for the homes that you live in, this is a big deal because it can catch the fault of the furnace or air conditioner within a couple hours, where if you don't have a monitoring system, you may not notice the temperature drop 2 or 3 degrees until all of a sudden you're like, man, it's 16 degrees, and it's the 5 o'clock at night. To try to get a contractor out here right now is going to be a terrific pain, where you can kind of get it right away immediately and hopefully get someone dispatched that day. And by that, I mean, like, the average home built to the code for Canada were designed to lose about a half a degree an hour from our set point. So if it starts to notice that temperature is constantly falling, you're getting a notification a lot faster than just relying on your comfort level inside of your home. So the smart home monitoring is a really cool feature, and the gentle nudges for temperature savings is also a really, really cool feature for a really advanced thermostat. So let's get into the install portion of it. We're going to be going over the compatibility overview, what it can do, what it can't do, wiring scenarios, get a bit more advanced with regards to the piece itself. So as you see, you've got a six port base plate to this thing, your Y, G, R, W, C, and the OB/asterisk. Really quickly, for the folks that are not certain, Y means cooling, G is your fan, R is power, W is heat, C is common, your 24-volt common, and OB is your reversing valve for your heat pump. Or it's additionally an asterisk for an auxiliary port. And with that auxiliary port, you can put a W2 in there for a 2-stage heating. You can put a Y2 in there for a 2-stage cooling. There's a couple other features you can do with that, but usually you're making that into a 2-stage heat, 1-stage cool, based on the current market that we live in here in Canada, where the vast majority of our furnaces being installed nowadays are usually 2-stage heat with a single-stage cool air conditioner. So what you see over here on the left, this is just kind of an overview of what you see and where additional things can plug in. If you want that second stage cooling, you go to your asterisk. You want that second stage heating, go to your asterisk. And just the details can kind of be configured as you need to be. Question came up to confirm this thermostat cannot be configured for humidity. It's not recommended, right? So we don't want to use this thermostat as a humidity controller, or a humidifier or dehumidifier, as much as we possibly can. Now there's ways to do it with third-party pieces and whatnot, but like I said, we're just not going to play that game. We're going to have this one here for a non-humidity sensing thermostat. And I broke my screen again. Nothing's working. Oh, I got it working again. Super. Oh, here we go right here. Let's talk about what the system is not compatible with. It is not compatible with proprietary systems. Proprietary systems are like communicating systems. Usually they're 4 wires. You have your 2 power and then your 2 communication lines. 1 line for heating, 1 line for cooling. And those, what they do is they monitor the heating system, your inside system, your outdoor temperature, your humidity levels, all through 1 wire to make things as efficient and effective as they can be. It's not compatible with communications or communicating systems. Those are your mod furnaces, where again, your thermostat's talking to the furnace, to your home. Do I need to increase my modulation of the gas valve, decrease it, stuff like that. So we're not going to play that game. We're not going to be compatible with a modulating system. Not compatible with millivolts, so you're not going to put this thing into a fireplace. You're not going to be putting it into any low voltage system where you're talking about that millivolts, which is quite literally in the millivolt. That's like 20 millivolt power. These things usually requires full-time battery power to power these thermostats. For the most part, we're not going to play in that field. We are not compatible with line voltage, 120 volt, 240 volt thermostats. If you put 120 to these thermostats, you're going to let the smoke out. Smoke is the only thing keeping these thermostats running. That's a little HVAC joke for the folks that get it, but do not put 120 to these. You will cause damage to the unit and it will not function ever again. Maximum of 2-stage heat, 2-stage cool. Well, 2-stage heat, 1-stage cool, or 2-stage cool, 1-stage heat. We have no Y3 or W3 terminals, so we're not compatible with 3-stage systems. Those are places that we're just not going to want to go to. We're also not compatible with if it's got 2-stage heat, 2-stage cool. We are, like I said, we have those limitations of what we have. We don't play with 3-stage systems. We don't want to partner up with a humidifier for reasons of wiring and whatnot. 2-stage heat pumps, we're not playing with that. We got 2-stage heat pump with auxiliary heating. We just don't have enough terminals to be able to power all those systems. A 2-stage heat pump with a 2-stage furnace, known as a dual fuel system. Don't have enough terminals to access all that. So we're quite really, accessing the 85% of the market, which is your standard furnace, 2-stage or single stage, with your standard AC, usually a single stage. That's our market. That's what we're going after. If we have something on top of that, we can take it down that road with different thermostats. But for this one in particular, these are our limits that we're going to stay within. The C-wire. This one comes up in every single training that I have with regards to the common wire and how Nest plays with this. It's actually got a really cool feature, this thermostat, with regards to the common wire. And we're going to kind of get into that. But right now, what it is the power wire going to the thermostat is what's going to be charging your batteries. So if you don't have a power wire in there and just have it run completely off batteries, you're going to be changing them out all the time. And again, that's not a game we want to play. So we want to have some sort of power going into that system over the R wire to power it and charge those batteries so that it can operate. Now, with regards to the C wire, the common wire, sometimes you need it, sometimes you don't. But this thermostat's got the built-in feature to test that, to test the millivolts or microamps coming in through the lines to check, is that enough to power this thing or not? Do we need to make additional common wire additions to this? And just like the other smart manufacturers out there, we do, at Equipco, we recommend using the FastAct Common Maker. We're a big fan of that. The other smart thermostat manufacturers, one of them in particular has got it rebranded under their own name. It's called like the Power Generator or something like that. It's a FastAct. It's a common maker. We all use the same technology to power it over Y and R. So that's kind of how we play with how we play with that. I'm just going to do a quick check for questions before we move on. Okay, all looks good in there so far. If I miss anything, I just did a quick look, but it'll look fine to me. If I miss it, throw it to me again. Finally, compatible with the C-wire. When in doubt, use it. We always recommend using a C-wire. Just give it that constant voltage 24. It just means you're not going to have any problems with it as you move forward. Okay. Compatibility checker. This is built in. So it's on the website, nest.com/works. You select what wires you see, and then we come back to you and we say, okay, this can work. This can't work depending on what you see in there. Nest.com/works is a great resource to use, but for the most part, I mean, for the installers that are out there, we know that we're usually playing with 4 or 5 wires for the vast majority. RWYGC. Those are the big 5, with the common wire being the wild card, whether that's going to be there or not. And if it's not there, we can make changes to the system by using, additional pieces to give you that common wire if you need it. But if you're new, you want to get used to it, or for the homeowners, nest.com/works is a wonderful website to select what you got, put it in, and move forward. So the Pro install flow, this is kind of a cool little piece, and I'm not going to get into all these features because it's a really long slide, but basically, you know, the homeowner is going to be there, the installer is going to be there, and you're going to be going through the basics of the install. The contractor is going to put in their Nest Pro ID. Homeowner is going to have the Google Home app. Contractor can now have the Google Home app. And then as we're just adding new homes, and to get a bit more into this is why I'm not doing too much detail, adding a new home, selecting the thermostat, selecting Pro install, putting in your ID, and then kind of going through the wiring guides to make sure that everything kind of all matches up, select the equipment, put the wires in the right place or where they're designed to go, remove your battery tabs, turn the power back on, and then start to have the system operate. And that's when you select some of your last little bits with regards to the install, such as inputting your Wi-Fi information, putting your home address in, letting you know where that thermostat is inside the home, setting up your home away assist, and also your min and your max temperatures for your eco temperatures. So we have a really good step-by-step layout, and this is all in the application. As you get yourself set up, they'll kind of walk you through all the details as to exactly what to do next, how to install it as simple as possible. And let's kind of get into that. So this is what the Home app looks like, okay? So you're in Google Home, you want to add a new product, you're pressing your plus button, setting up a new device, adding a new thermostat. Boom, you're off to the races. Scan your QR code, QR code's confirmed. The Google app now knows you have a Nest thermostat. Let's set it up. Let's get everything kind of rocking and rolling where you need it to go. And then you just, you know, progress down the line as the app walks you through the install. Try to make it as foolproof and easy as possible. The other option you have is with regards to if you can't get the QR code to scan, there's different things that you can do. Add a new product, you're setting up a Nest thermostat, can't get the QR code to work, so you're going to find the setup code, which is going to be right underneath that QR code. You put it in, that's your setup code, and from that, away you go, moving down the line to the different features that you need. So you got it set up, you're ready to install your Nest thermostat. Enter your Nest Pro ID as your next step. And that's for everyone here on this call. I can't stress enough how important this Nest Pro ID is, especially to the thermostat market. When homeowners say, why am I spending, you know, $200 on you for the same thermostat that I could spend $200 on Home Depot, the extended warranty that comes with the Pro ID, that's the game changer. That's what sets you apart and makes you unique, saying that if you install it yourself, number one, there's a 50-50 chance you're going to get it to work or you're going to not have it be able to work. And with me installing it, you get the extended warranty. So that's an extremely valuable tool that you can bring to your homeowner's home and say, this is why you called me. This is what I'm doing here. So I can give you a professional install, covers the warranty of the product. Not only that, but it also secures you to the customer, knowing that it's going to be a professionally installed thermostat or the plethora of Google products that they probably want to add into their home at some other point. So you get a lot more familiarity when you're doing a Nest Pro ID with the homeowner and the project that you're working on. Okay, enough the Pro ID, hammered that point, moving forward. So getting to install your thermostat, you got to take a look at your wiring. Now, before we get to the wiring, I got to say it because sometimes people don't do this. It is important to turn the power off going to the thermostat, which is usually powered off your furnace. You can do it at the breaker, or there's usually an on-off switch somewhere by your furnace. Do yourself a favor and turn it off, just in case you cross any wires or do anything silly or something like that. You don't want to cause any issues back down at the control board at the furnace. You also don't want to cause any issues with your thermostat that you're going to be installing. So again, everything that you see here, this is what's going to pop up in the app. So it's going to tell you, this is what I want you to have. I want you to have your Phillips screwdriver, your wire snippers, your flashlight. We're going to check the system. Before we do that, turn off the power. Now you're going to removing the cover. Once we get that cover removed, that's when we can start to even further dive into the system of what it can and can't do based on your existing system. So you get it off, you have a look at it, and then what you can do is it'll let you take a photo of your wiring so you can reference that back. Now in this thermostat, if you look at allow use of the camera picture there, we've got our C, W, G, Y, and RH. So it sees that, saves that photo. You've now got that for reference, that the green wire was connected to G, the W wires was connected to W, C was connected, or the blue wire was connected to C, just so you know where it goes, in case you don't follow the next step, which is going to be wiring or labeling your wires. You got that photo as backup. You can always go back to and register and be like, okay, this is what I got, this is what I see. Check, make sure you don't have that high voltage. You should be well on top of that one before you get to this point anyway, but for homeowners, they may or may not know, but for contractors out there, you will know if it's a 120 volt versus a 24 volt thermostat. If there's any jumper wires inside the system, rip them out. Usually that jumper wire is going to go between RH and RC. You're not going to need that. The jumper's inside the thermostat, and it can pull that power from there. Next, you see a little question. It's like, have you have any connectors with dual labels? Sometimes you see, like for instance here, W and the OB portion all in the same place, and you want to say, do I see this? Yes or no, so we can point you in the right direction for how to wire it up. And also we're going to ask you if you have a heat pump, becoming more and more prevalent nowadays in homes. We see a lot more of that time being answer is yes. If the answer is yes, we need to make sure that the system is going to be compatible with a just a furnace and a heat pump, so we can do it right. The wires that you see, you learn them, check them off. The next thing you're going to be checking for is a millivolt system. Millivolt system are almost always going to be like a through the wall VTAC or something like that with electric heat, or a fireplace is going to be a millivolt system as well. If you see any of that, let the system know so you can accurately get the wires put in where you want them to go. After that, you're going to want to be selecting that function for your OB/asterisk valve. Is it going to be a heat pump? Is it going to be a second stage heat or second stage cool? What are you going to want this thing to do? Because once it detects it, it's going to want to figure out what you want the system to work like and work as. So once you get all that set up, you get your system set, your wiring is now in. Now comes that part of the game that, as far as I'm concerned, this one's a huge game changer for all the smart thermostats out there. It's actually going to be doing a test of your system's power. So this smart test that you do is going to be bringing you back recommendations specifically with regards to the C wire, your 24 volt charging wire. And it's going to say one of three things. C wire is recommended. The installation of a C wire is absolutely recommended. You're going to be, the way it is right now, you're going to be running off reduced battery life. You're going to have certain things disabled because I'm not able to get enough power, such as motion sensing, other pieces would not be. Usually the motion sensing is what we like, because we walk in front of these, we can see outdoor temperature or indoor temperature. We like to see that stuff. The other option it's going to give you is the C wire isn't getting any power. So it means the C wire is there, but it's not getting any power. So is it being powered off the wrong port at the furnace? Is there something you need to investigate further? It's just saying that this C wire is not doing what you think it's doing, which that does happen, absolutely. So it'll tell you that. And then finally, it'll say, I don't see a C wire, but it also looks like you don't exactly need one. I'm able to get the milliamps I need to power myself, so I'm okay. However, we still recommend the installation of a C wire always, because you can't go wrong by giving a thermostat with this much power, this much control, this much ability, the proper voltage that it needs to operate as it should. Give it the power it needs so that it can work as it needs to work, and you're not going to have any problems with it. And if anyone out there wants to talk offline about the C wire, how to install a common waker or anything like that, give us a call. It's what I'm here for. Job site visits, take care of you, virtual visits, stuff like that. We can get you in the right direction. Okay, back to our installing in the home app. You got your wires that you pulled out. You now have them labeled. Your old thermostat is disconnected. You're going to be putting your new wires into the system as labeled at where they want to go. To connect the wires, very similar to what the 3G and the E are, is that you just push down on the tab, slide the wire in, and away you go. It's just a push tab that you need. One thing to make quick note of here, I always recommend that when you're doing thermostat wires, give me fresh wire. Cut off what was existing and strip back a bit, give me fresh wire so I've got a good connection in there. if you can, we'd really appreciate it. Just make sure we have good communication across the board. In your final steps here, removing your battery tab, which is that little plastic tab at the back, snap on your display and turn your power back on. You're ready to rock and roll. Now you have your thermostats ready for configuration. It knows, now you're going to tell where you are, where it is, your min max temperatures, everything like that. So it's a really cool step-by-step process through the app to get you all set up. Just with regards to strictly, this was just your install. This was just your wiring, getting it together. Okay. And then you can get into now your more deep dive as regards to the homeowner sort of things that they want to know. What English do they want? Or sorry, what English? What language would they like? What's your primary source of heat? Is it forced air? Is it inflow? Is it rads? I can talk for a good long time about why selecting that is of crucial importance. And also another side point to that, there's still this little rumblings out there that you can't use Nest thermostats with radiant inflow heating. And I'm here to tell you right now, you absolutely can. It's got great algorithms built into it for that, but that's a call we can take offline and we can do a deep dive into that. If you have your heat pump set up, you talk about when your system is ready to switch its fuel, when we go from heat pump to natural gas or something like that, what's your temperature that you want it to reach before you do that switch over that you want. And then if you get kind of those things set up, it's like, okay, I know what temperature you need. I know what you got. I know how you're running. Perfect. Let's just rock and roll and away we go. So one quick question pop in. No, that's just someone saying, hey, you're awesome, which I really appreciate. Thank you very much. I think you're awesome. Your last couple steps here, just going to be with regards to setting up your home address, telling it where you are, telling you where the thermostat is. We get asked a lot, why are you telling you what room it's in? And that's because these thermostats you can use in a zone system if you so desire. Again, another common misconception about these that you can't use them with zone dampers and whatnot. You can, you absolutely can. Let us know what you're working with and we'll tell you what you need to be compatible with our systems. At the end of the day, a lot of homeowners are actually taking a lot more like in-depth view of their thermostat with regards to energy savings as opposed to their furnace. Because when you think about it, a single stage furnace, just even with the old school PSC motor, the X13 motors, you're only going to be getting, well, not only, you're going to be getting about 92 to 93% efficient out of the box, right? With a two-stage variable, that's 95% efficient. So with that 2% or 3% energy savings just with the furnace, you're like, okay, there's some good savings, but the real money comes with setback thermostats. Another conversation for another day about setback thermostats and how they operate. I see Adam, I see you laughing there because I can get heated in that conversation, but I promise you save money with setback thermostats. I can show you the math. But a lot of homeowners are seeing a lot more energy savings with the thermostats compared to with the furnaces. So just paying a lot more attention to that.
Deep breath, Matthew.
Deep breath. Here we go. Appreciate that. Set your temperature presets, create your schedule. What's your comfort temperature? What's somebody like it at when you're home? What's your eco temperature? What do you like it at when you're gone? What's your sleep temperature? Temperature you like it when you sleep. From that, set your times when you want that to happen, and away you go. You're off to the races. You're all set up. You got your timing checked. You got your temperatures checked. You know what you want. You're a happy homeowner, happy contractor. Everything is set up exactly as you wanted it. Now let the thermostat do its job. We kind of got into the HomeAway Assist and the location services for how the thermostat works. Know your home or know whether you're away. Know when to set the system into its eco mode or away mode. So you can just confirm and accept all this. Do confirm and accept all this. We get a question a lot about how much data is that going to burn through if you have your location services on. It's not a ton. In fact, I do know this number. I want to say, 200 megabytes a month I want to say, is roughly what we go through for location services. So we're 0.2 of a gig for location services to monitor between your thermostat and you. And I don't want to speak out of turn. However, I think the vast majority of the population of North America since March 16th, 2019 or 2020 have gone into unlimited data just because of the amount of work that we're all doing from home now. A lot of it is online, so it's usually not even a concern. Turn it on. It's in your best interest to do so. You can get a lot more savings by letting the thermostat monitor you and letting it just do its thing in the background. Running through a little tutorial, get to know it, how to play with the sidebar, tapping it. And I kind of showed you a couple of those things as you, pressing the wrong spot. Up and down, away you go. Set to heat cool, tap it, and you're set. And then that's kind of it. That's how you set this thing up. You let the app tell you what you need to do. You just fill in the information and let it do the work. It's designed to be as simple as possible. The amount of time that it took me to talk about that is about the amount of time it's going to take you to plug in these wires where they need to go. So that's the overview of your install. I'm just going to run you through a couple little more scenarios so you can kind of see some things that you might encounter in the field that we're going to say yay or nay to, specifically with regards to this thermostat. We have options, but we're talking this one here at the beginning. So an overview of our base. As Adam mentioned, you get that bubble level. That is important. There is nothing more infuriating than that beautiful screen being off center by about 1/4 of an inch. It drives me nuts. So use it. Use the level. Use it where you need to put it. RGYCW, they are what they are. Power wire, fan, cool, power, 24-volt power, and then your heat. Now the OB/asterisk, as you can see there, your OB is your heat pump, or you can use as a second stage cooling or a second stage heating. So keep in mind of that. And we even have a screen here, if you look underneath in the blue lettering, what color these wires typically are. Typically is a very broad term. I have seen all combinations of all sorts of things. So don't use the color by any means as any sort of guide. Use where they are connected. But this is what we're capable of doing. So some wiring schematics. What do you need to do for a conventional single stage heating? Okay, just walk in, all you got's a furnace. Chances are what you're gonna see is you're gonna see RGW, probably C for a single stage heat only. And as you see, we just hook it, the 4 wires where we need them to go. Quite simple, quite straightforward. If it's a 2-stage heating, so you see we have what we're calling a brown wire here going into that OB/asterisk. We're just telling it that is our stage 2 heating. So that's our wiring diagram for how we do that. Power stays power, fan stays fan, common stays common, but this is how we get that second stage heating into it. 1-stage heat, 1-stage cool. Again, what you're usually gonna see, RWY and G. Sometimes you see a C, sometimes you don't. And I mentioned how the app guides you specifically as to whether or not you want to install one of those or not. So it's really straightforward wiring diagram picture here. Cooling goes to Y, heating goes to W, fan power 24-volt if you got it. Really easy to wire up. And then let's just say you got a bigger system where you have a 2-stage heat, 1-stage cool, or even maybe it's going to be a heat pump at this stage. This is where you have everything here kind of powered in. The only wild card in this one will be your C wire. But as I mentioned, and this is probably my last time I mentioned it, when in doubt, install the C wire. Try to put those in on every job if you can. It's just a good idea. So this is my last little bit. I got some wiring scenarios. You can, if you want to, by all means, please feel free to type into the chat yes or no what you believe these things can do. It's I don't want to call it a quiz by any means, but this is essentially things that you might encounter out in the field. So here you pulled off the thermostat. You don't see any R, G, Y, anything like that. You see a 1, 2, 3. Knee-jerk reaction. Is this thing compatible? I'll give you just a second if you just want to throw in anything up there into the chat or Q&A. Let's see who was brave. From Glenn. Okay, so unfortunately, the answer to this one here is going to be probably not. Three-wire systems are usually an indication of a probable proprietary system, meaning these are communication wires, and we don't know if this is going to be like your RWG. We don't know that for sure. So what you're going to want to do here is this one will require further investigation, and we're not able to just tell this based looked on just the thermostat. Walter, good answer. I mean, that's what we need to do is just, if you don't see exactly what I'm kind of giving you here, either call us or help us help you to further investigate. You might need to get into the actual furnace or piece of heating equipment so we can check it out. So in this case, we're going to go with probably not or no. Here's another one. I just want to, again, throw it into the chat or the Q&A if you so desire. You're walking in, you see A, B, C, and D. Now, is that anything that I kind of mentioned or talked about in here? Do we think that we can throw a Nest thermostat into this guy? Again, the answer is probably not or a no. 4 wires, really highly indicative of a proprietary system. I mean, he's got his power wires, the communication wires. So we don't think that this is going to be a good application for us to go up against. And in this case here, A, B, C, and D, as I mentioned, is almost always a proprietary system, meaning communication. So this one's going to be a hard and fast no. This is going to be a very specific thermostat for that specific piece of heat. Here we go, another 4-wire system. We see R, S, and V. Again, there's nothing, the lines that I mentioned. So we're like, okay, what are we up against here? But one thing that we do notice is that when we go to our wiring diagram up at the top, we do see our W2s and Gs and Ys and how they all align. So after a bit of investigation, you're like, oh, okay, we got W2. We probably have W2 or your O for a heat pump, or your Y. And then we also have Y2 and W, but we just don't have any power coming through there. So that's a call to us to help us clarify and make sure we got everything set up that you need. Now, this is a much more familiar thermostat that you might be coming across out there in the system. Here we see a beautiful W, beautiful G, beautiful Y. The R comes into RH and then it jumpers out. Will this one work? 100%. Absolutely. This is the one that we want to change out for sure. 1-stage heat, 1-stage cool, R for power wire, G for fan. This thing is game on all day long. This is the system we want to play with for sure. We are certain of what we're looking at. We know that this is a 24-volt thermostat. This meets all the criteria that we need. This says this is a green means go. Go ahead and move forward with it. And in fact, just like that, your R, G, Y, and W. Just like we go back, R, G, Y, and W all throughout that. So you can see the existing wires. We do mention that we pull out our jumper on R, and that's just kind of how we operate that. Here's another system. We got R, C, G, W, and Y. Is this one a match? Yes, it is. Absolutely. Again, these are the things that you're looking for. Looking for R's, you're looking for W's, G's. This is your standard 24-volt thermostats, how they operate all day long. Now, in this case here, they were nice enough to give us the common wire. So the wiring diagram is as such, and these would be the color of wires matched to the previous picture that you saw. Here's a little bit of an interesting one. We see W0 or O, GRCY. It is a 6-wire system, but you're like, okay, that means we're going to have a furnace, heat pump, fan, power, common, and cooling. 6 wires meets our 6-wire base. Absolutely. This is a heat pump, single-stage heat, single-stage cool. All day long. This is a great system to install this thermostat in and show the capabilities of it, what it can and cannot do. So we're a big fan of this one. And that's my time. That's all I got. I want to thank you all very much for stopping by, and let's open the floor completely to comments, questions, or concerns that you have before we kind of sign off.
Yeah. Thanks for that, Matthew. Also, if there's many other Google Nest products, there's cameras, there's doorbells, there's smoke detectors, there's Google Wi-Fi, there's all kinds of stuff that we can do trainings on. We can have a phone chat about. If that's of interest, reach out to your local Equipco rep. If you're here in Ontario, Matthew and I'd be happy to help, or even Atlantic Canada. So yeah, we can always set up another training on the rest of the products as well. But we really wanted to introduce this new thermostat that I personally think is a really great product, and it's going to do very well in the market.
Yeah, just covers so much of the existing products that are out there. It's a really, really good piece, and it's simple to use.
Absolutely. If you have any contractors interested in becoming Nest Pro contractors, we are always looking for more. So reach out to us, and we'll get you information on setting them up as a Nest Pro.
Yeah, and you can contact us on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, everything like that. Question from John: do we have access for the PDF, brochures, or specs? Probably. We do. I thought we just went over these ones.
Yeah, that's not what he's looking for. Alex, are you able to chime in on that? Whether there's actual spec sheets, like when we're working with engineers and stuff?
Yep. Yeah. I can send those over to you so you have them and you can share them out to folks.
That'd be great. Yeah.
Perfect. That was a good one. Any other questions out there? Again, we just, I want to stress, you can't hurt our feelings. We've heard everything with regards to what these thermostats can and cannot do. Nothing you can say can make me feel bad about myself. My self-esteem is through the roof. I don't know. It's just the kind of guy I am. But please let us know if you have anything you want to throw into that. My last point to the team, and I started at the beginning, and seeing as it's staying quiet out there, this is a question I would like everybody to chime in the answer on. Die Hard, Christmas movie or not? My answer is yes. I want to hear your thoughts. Let me know. Come on, friends. Yes, John. Absolutely. It's a Christmas movie.
What's a Die Hard?
This is the greatest day of my life. Look at this thing. Okay.
Look at Evan go.
Oh,
flexing
man.
his muscle.
I don't know how much he gets paid, but he needs a raise. Oh, hosts and panelists cannot vote. That's okay. I'm going to be biased anyway. So
yeah, I was trying to vote no just to get you fuming.
No one would do that to me. No one will possibly vote no. Don't be crazy here. So yeah, this is
awesome.
Just a fun little way to kind of throw it
again.
In
one last thing before everyone leaves. Don't forget about the promo. If you have pictures of installs, send them in to us, equipcotv@equipcoltd.com, or tag us on social media. Everybody here today will get a ballot into the draw. So thanks everyone for attending. Alex from Google, thank you.
Thank you
for moderating this training. And this will be recorded and put on our YouTube channel should you want to share it with anyone. Have a great day, everybody.